use of rigging tools such as rearranging the ballot paper and fermenting of violence to scare away ordinary non-violent voters, vote buying, mass dumping of ballot paper situation of
from one party to another because of assessed national interest, but rather their own personal interest, personal gains and interest. As you said, from what is looking at the outlook of APC now, you understand, with the power that the APC, the majority of governors, Senate and House of Reps, it is an indication telling you that no, if you didn't belong to that party,
governors would Nigeria, you know, we're taking a look at the integrity of political ideology and of course the integrity of political institutions in Nigeria, trying to understand this constant and recurring defections by politicians. Now, the wave of defections in Nigeria is one that has become part of our history as a people, where you have officials frequently switching party allegiance, switching from parties through which they were elected to. The platform that gave them the glory that they sought, they defect from that party somewhere along the line and move, you know, to the ruling party, as it were. So, of course, our case study this morning is the tsunami declared by Tinubu that has happened in Delta State. The APC is in the news. At first, it started with the SDP, with El Rufai defecting. Woke up one morning and, you know, we started having that feel of the tsunami gathering momentum. And of course, the mass defection from the opposition to the ruling APC party, and of course with the threat that more people would defect, more governors would defect, governors who came in on another party defecting midway to the APC. So we're trying to understand all of this. And let me start with Atayo. Your understanding of these defections, as it were. Well, again, we're taking a look at the integrity of these defections by politicians. Let's just start from there.
Okay. The defections are normal occurrences that have been happening in the past. You know, when the ruling party, when the majority is always the ruling party. So when people see that the number, let's say when PDP during, is it 2007, am I right?
What time?
PDP, when PDP had more states.
Okay, Jonathan.
Jonathan.
Okay.
Obasanjo then Jonathan. When they had more states, many people also left and moved. So I think it's a normal trend that when they see that there's something happening in one party, so they feel the ruling party has more, they have more chances, they have more power, they have security. So they feel that, okay, by 2017, 2017. No, this is 2005, 2007.
2007 you're talking about.
Yes, 2007. That's, you know, because it's a major climax. The elections will be taking place and everything. So they feel in their mindset, they just feel that they've already judged and calculated that they have more chances to win. Because the politics in Nigeria largely is driven by personal ambition, not ideology. Most people have looked at it, they've calculated, they are strategizing, that they feel that, oh, there's more power, there's more security with the ruling party, which is the APC. So they feel defecting to APC will help them to win. But for my own personal view, I feel defecting is not you understand, it's not a yardstick that APC will win. Because of the way our political system looks, anything can happen. And then the PDP should also take it in faith to work more on their system, because there is crisis in PDP, and that's the reason why most of those politicians are defecting from one party to another party. So if every political party can re-strategize and build their party, then they'll be able to stay. But it's so disheartening to know that after electing you, you know, for a particular position, for governance, and then they just use that as a platform just to win election and then go for their personal interests, which is very sad and disheartening to a lot of Nigerians. They are not happy about it, because why we will elect you for a purpose, so that means your party is just a platform for you to just win, and once you win, you go for your own personal ambition. So yes.
Now let's build up on that, talking about party allegiance. It's a situation that is really worrying, like what Tayo has said. You come out to contest on a particular platform, you know, pledging allegiance and giving us all the manifestos. Well, when you talk about manifestos, my personal view should be aside now. I want to hear your personal view. Let's take a look at party allegiance. You contest on a platform, especially for governance, you get into power, and somewhere along the line you switch, like the Nigerian parlance, you cross carpet from that particular party to where it appears that the sun is shining brighter. Let's take a look at party allegiance and how this is affecting you know, our political integrity as a people. Well, from the politicians themselves, and of course how it rubs off on the general populace.
Yeah, politics, particularly in Africa or in Nigeria, it has become a panacea of personal interest and aggrandizement. That's one major reason why you see that party allegiance in some instances were kept aside entirely when there is an interest ahead. Defection is normal in politics. Changing from one party to another, it has become a normal thing. But our problem here in Nigeria in particular is that our politicians, they work with their they look at their personal interest rather than looking at national or state interest first. Defection or allegiance, if you look at it, the allegiance, you have a party, today you are elected on PDP, the next morning, like what APC happened today in Delta State, they move both Okowa, who has been the vice presidential aspirant in 2023, and the governor who succeeded him, Boberi, they now moved to APC, the ruling party, which even the party chairman said that they're expecting more governors and more House of Reps that are coming in. You see, so the issue of manifestoship in these aspects is to them, it is something that they don't even look at. They are not within that, working with the framework of that manifesto of their party. If it is, and if they wanted to build their own party, they will not be thinking of switching to another party. You can still be in your party, and it's still allowed. You can support somebody in another party. You understand? Those, they will call it anti-party. But at the same time, if you wanted to look at the party you want to build it, you cannot. The more you move out of it, you are reducing the strength of your party. Now today, what we are looking at, PDP is like none. It's like it's gone. From the body language of all the governors, if you look, they are not with the party. Because it seems like in 2027, there will be no more any party aspirant if care is not taken. It's only APC that will have a substantive candidate who is the current president.
Now, you're actually taking me to the next question that I want to ask.
Yeah.
Now, you're talking about a one-party situation. Is it that what we're seeing right now happen with this mass defection? Do you see it as a plot or a plan towards that one-party state for Nigeria? Is that where we are going to?
No, this politicians, when they were looking at their interests, they don't care. Let it be one party. Though one party is not bad, if they can give good governance, you understand. There are countries that practice one-party system. So we cannot condemn entirely one-party system. But the issue here we have is some of them, they are not depicting from one party to another because of assessed national interest, but rather their own personal interest, personal gains and interest. As you said, from what is looking at the outlook of APC now, you understand, with the power that the APC, the majority of governors, Senate and House of Reps, it is an indication telling you that no, if you didn't belong to that party, you might likely lose your seat. So some of them are in fear of that. That's why they are moving into this party. It's not because there's anything else that they want. So one party system may not really happen because there's something politicians always will forget. Some of them are aware of it, but they still go for it. For example, now we have a new coalition. If you are thinking that you kill PDP, you kill Labour Party because you introduce inter-party crisis in it, which has no end up to today. Before 2027, if they were not able to resolve it, Nigerians will look at an alternative, which if you look at it now, especially the one that is gathering momentum is SDP, where even the Prince Adebayo was actually the former, what do you call it, presidential candidate. They are gathering momentum now because the people coming into the party is what might, interest people, Nigerians. As in, no, if APC was not able to give us what we needed from May 29, 2023 to May 29, 2027, there's a need for them to now look inwards and outwards.
Now, talking about looking inwards and outwards takes us a little bit higher into the concern by Nigerians and, of course, people who are interested in the politics of the nation. The concerns about the integrity of political institutions. There is no way the call or the talk about integrity does not come into play. We'll talk about ideologies, we'll talk about the challenges that come with people defecting, and of course democracy. The effect of this constant movement from one party definitely will have its challenges and effect on the democracy of the nation. But the concern again is the integrity of political institutions. Let us take a look at the integrity. This continuous defection from one party to the next, especially a party that brings you into prominence, the party on which you rode into glory, and just midway you defect to another party. Definitely that too is a call for concern by Nigerians and of course those interested in where the country is actually going. Let's take a look at integrity, the play of integrity in defection at this moment. Again, we're taking a look at the recurring situation with the movement from other parties to the APC, which is really sweeping.
Okay. I want to make it clear that defections does not guarantee electoral victory. So because you defected does not mean, there's a total... And then one thing about life is that when people begin to gravitate to a particular place too much, people tend to question it. And normally, the way our God works, sometimes it's something that you least expect that will happen, that will surely happen. They said the stone which the builders rejected became the chief cornerstone. So sometimes the parties that we feel will not work or they're having crisis, there's anything can happen to bring the crisis. But the thing now is that people defecting shows lack of integrity and lack of, they are selfish. They are personally, they consider more of their self in concerning the political career. They are not selfless. That was the word I was looking for. They are not selfless. That selflessness has diminished, is not there. They're thinking about how they will make it, how, you know, they can live that bogus lifestyle, and people are suffering. So when people look at it critically, they will change their mind concerning voting for the person. People have built, you know, their mindsets concerning a particular politician they want to be in power. But when you begin to defect, people will now look at it. Maybe this man, when he gets there, he will not do exactly like he has said, like the way everybody is saying about the number one, that all his manifesto, he's yet to fulfill them. And people are crying, people are hungry. And then remember that this APC government that we are praying to do better, and we are praying that God helps them, they've not yet finished fulfilling that mandate. They've not finished fulfilling the manifesto. And then everybody is, going back. People will look outwardly, just like you said, SDP. We will look to Labour Party. They will look to other parties. So them defecting, everybody defecting back to the ruling party is a sign and is a concern that many Nigerians will not want to vote them, because they feel people defecting, they lack integrity. And integrity as a leader, integrity is something that is very important. Integrity is something you need to work for, you need to fight for. And if you lack integrity, you can't give your best as a leader. So, this will really affect people's voting when the election time comes. It will affect in 2027, it will affect, 2027. Yeah? It's 2027, okay. It will really affect people, I'm right. So it will really affect people. Yes.
All right, if you just joined us, it is the Press Today, Tuesday, and we're taking a look at mass defections, analysis of the integrity of political ideology institutions in the country. We'll take a short break. When we return, the phone lines will be open so you can call in and have your say. Stay with us.
In the beginning, God created a beautiful world.
3, 2, 1. Action.
And that's why, at KAFTAN Television,
we imagine a beautiful world.
We are not just bragging.
We blaze the trail in broadcasting. And it is about you.
At KAFTAN TV, broadcasting is not just about information, education, and entertainment.
It's an aggregation of all you need to know in Nigeria
and around the world to create signal.
At KAFTAN Television, we have all it takes to be on top in broadcasting.
Our mission is simple: to project Africa in a truthful yet positive manner.
Wait, we're coming to you in style.
There we are, starting from September.
Take a look at what the facts are.
And as you say on KAFTAN TV, imagine a beautiful world.
Yes, nice to have you back on the press at this hour as we take a look at mass defections, analysis of the integrity of political ideology institutions in Nigeria. My guests are still here, Tayo Lani and Abdulaziz Idris. Before the break, Tayo was actually making us understand the effect of integrity on defections and, of course, how it rubs off on our democracy. And I would really want Abdul to continue as we take a look at the implication on democratic consolidation. Of course, still talking about the integrity of politicians in terms of defecting from one party that they rode on to prominence to another party. But in this case, we're talking about the All Progressives Congress, which is more or less the ruling party right now. And Ty was actually making us understand that, you know, she doesn't think that this mass movement is a guarantee for those people rushing into the ruling party to actually get the glory that they got from the party that they're coming from. And she referred to Nigerians, saying, you know, Nigerians may take this as a sign of a downplay on integrity and maybe switch or by asking the question, what is going on? Why are people moving from this from their parties to a particular party? Again, with all boldness, the APC, that it is not a guarantee for 2027. Now, let us talk a little bit about the Nigerian, the common man on the street, to ask, do we remember history? Do Nigerians read the room? Do they remember the past to actually forge a future that they desire for? Again, we're talking about integrity and building on what Tayo said, saying that this defection on the long run may not be a guarantee for success. I really want your take on this.
Yes, he has made a point that by saying that, yes, if for you to defect does not guarantee your electoral victory. One thing we need here in Nigeria, number one, is the electoral integrity. If what you elect is what you will be given, that's electoral integrity, number one, before even you look at the person, those who are electing. If you defect, to my own understanding, defection does not define that person, whether he has integrity or not. You can be elected on a platform. What you are elected for is what we should look at it first. Were you able to come and enlist your success? Were you able to achieve all the promises that you have made to those people? That yes, I said this, I say one, A, B, C, and I have fulfilled this. You understand?
So Abdul, just a moment. Let us take a call, our first call for the morning from Mohammed. Mohammed calling from Maiduguri. Mohammed, good morning.
Good morning, my sister, and good morning, the panelists.
Thank you.
So, Mohammed, you know what we're talking about this morning? You have your contribution?
Yes, my sister. I've been watching you, and in fact, the channel is very clear.
Thank you.
Yes.
So go ahead, your contribution.
Yes, because of time factor, let me quickly make my comment.
Go ahead.
This issue of defection, honestly speaking, I've been saying it. People are just thinking politicians are holy. There's no any politician that is holy, mind you. They are after their interests. And I don't blame them for defecting to ruling party.
Why not?
Removal of fuel subsidy. The president increases the allocation to all the states, and so they are having enough money, too much money. They are converting those money to dollars, preparing for 2027 election. I just saying, people think I'm telling you it's joke. It's not joke. The Bureau Change operators or the chairman of the Bureau Change spoke on the BBC about warning Nigeria the rate at which state governors are changing this allocation to dollars and subsiding them. It's alarming. It's affecting the masses in Nigeria. No action was taken. There was no monetary mechanism by the federal government to control what is given to those things. So people are getting more poorer and poorer at the lower level. They only mention big money in Abuja on the page of newspapers and only reflect to the lower level. People are crying. This hardship in Nigeria is off largely, if not 50%, by the state governors. Call me anything. You can't blame the president for everything. The president cannot be everywhere. But I blame him because he's a father. I blame him because he did not provide monitoring mechanism at the lower level. Federal government has federal ministries all over the state. Why wouldn't we engage those staff in the federal ministries to be part of your monitoring team? If you tax the police DPO in the local government to be part of the monitoring, you can monitor the local government. So effectively, the federal government will get communication. We don't use the federal government instrument, only use EFCC. What is not really needed is where we are laying our emphasis. So for the insecurity we are facing is because of the active level of poverty that is happening at the lower level. Let me tell you, you are in Abuja, you are using AC now. Some people don't even have the light in the first place. How much are we using the AC? Difficulties upon difficulties. We say we are all Nigerians, we are all having our PVC, we are all entitled. Honestly speaking, Nigeria is different from Nigeria. I live in Victoria Island. I know how we were living in that place. I live in Surulere. In fact, I live in Lagos. I know how life looks like there and where I am now. So, in fairly speaking, the problems are from the leaders. Politicians are not holy.
Thank you so much. He says politicians are not holy. And he talked about monitoring mechanism. Again, we're talking about integrity. I would want you to round up and, of course, build up on what Mohammed has said. He said politicians are not holy.
Yes. You know, when I started the comment here just now, I really wanted to come there. Because what I said is, if you are elected on a platform, what parameters do we have to measure that whether you have fulfilled the promises that you made to the public that you elected you? That's one of the most significant one. If you are able to, as he said, as Mohammed said too, likely, if you are able to come in and say, okay, my people, the level of poverty, lack of employment, no water, no electricity, and you are able to resolve all these problems, or you at least achieve 50 to 60% above what is expected of you, then your depiction doesn't matter to people, because what people want is good governance.
At the end of the day.
Yes, so if you are able to resolve all these, for example now, APC came in, they met security issues, but instead of resolving it, it keeps expanding day by day.
We have a call. Hello.
Hello, good morning.
Yeah, good morning. Thanks for your patience. I appreciate you so much. Thanks for your patience. So, what's your name and where you calling from?
Good morning, sir. Good morning, Madam Tayo. You are on to SMB calling from Lagos.
What's your name?
Good morning.
SMB calling from Lagos.
Oh, yeah. Thanks for calling. So, go ahead.
Yeah, thank you very much. Let me appreciate KAFTAN TV for giving us this ample opportunity.
You're welcome.
Especially this critical moment. And let me also appreciate your guests. I also concur with all what they have discussed in this issue of this defection. But let me open my discourse with the question you answered them, the party allegiance.
Okay.
The party allegiance.
Okay.
Now, let me proceed on the policy makers first before the party allegiance. The policy makers. What happened with the local government autonomy? What happened? They don't even respect the institution. Talking of political party allegiance. So what do you expect from somebody that don't even respect the institution that are giving the power, mandated him to do the needful? Understand? So for me, 80% of political party members don't even go through their party constitution, talking of knowing exactly what is the allegiance. Believe me, I stand to be corrected. 80% of political party members don't even go through their political party constitution, talking of allegiance of the party. So you see, so the institutions will not be respected. The more we begin to respect our institutions, the better for this country. Look at the Supreme Court judgment on local government autonomy. Today, where we are. Written in the Nigerian Constitution, we have 3 tiers of government. The local government, the state government, and the federal government. You understand? So what I'm asking is, are we for real? Now, coming back to defection, yeah, of course, really, like Mr. Idris mentioned, if really defection will be based on ideology, that one is quite understandable. But most of the defection we are seeing is just because of petty sentiment, or I just don't want to be out of the cycle of power. So this is lack of patriotic engagement.
Thank you so much. So he says this is a lack of patriotic engagement. Like you started by saying that defections are personal and has nothing to do with ideology. It has nothing to do with serving the people, but serving self. Now, we're talking about ideology. He did say that he can boldly say that most of these party members don't even know what the manifestos or the ideologies of the parties are about, that he can confidently say that. And now part of what we're talking about this morning is, of course, this ideology. Why these defections are consistent and people move from one party to the next, forgetting where they're coming from. Let us take a look at that. Is it that they don't have an idea of the ideology, they don't have an idea of the manifestos or the drive or the zeal for what the party stands for, and that's why we'll see people just wake up after becoming governors from one particular party. Before the tenure ends, they move to another. Let's talk about this.
You see, for me, I'm thinking that each party have their constitution, and once you are elected, it's a wrong move for you to move to another party, because you were elected by a platform to serve the people, and all eyes are on you that you will deliver that mandate. But you have not finished delivering the mandate. You've not finished serving the people that put you in. Then you now defected. For me, it's like a stab on the hearts of that party and the people of the party.
Who voted them in.
Who voted them in. It's like you ditched the person, which I feel is something that, calls for a concern. People say it's normal to defect. Yes, it's normal when you are not serving, but you've been elected. You are serving already. You've been elected by a platform. So you leaving the platform to another platform, for me, is like backstabbing the platform. You are doing something that you are not supposed to do, and is wrong. For me, that's my own personal. It's just like you working for a company, and the company your company has brought you in, and as you are working for the company, another company start beckoning on you to leave that company and come to their company, and then you now leave the company, or you are doing somebody's job in that company. What are you doing? It doesn't show how faithful you are. That's when we come to integrity. It doesn't show that you are ready to deal. Even as they are in APC, even if you elect them in that APC, something may happen, and then they may also defect to another, maybe SDP. So it's something that calls, we need to be consistent in whatever that we are doing. We need to be loyal. We need to be patriotic in everything that we do. So for me, I don't buy that idea of defections while you are serving as a governor. I don't buy that idea.
Now, let's take a look at this fragmentation. This hopping from one party causes fragmentation from the party that they are coming from. And again, it is important for us to relate that to our democracy. I want to find out if somewhere in our heart, we're Nigerians, this is our country. For me, this is the greatest nation on the surface of the earth. For me, this is the greatest. I love no other country the way I love Nigeria. One of the greatest things that I feel has happened to me as a person is being born into this nation. I know the integrity, the beauty, the intelligence of the simple, common Nigerian on the street. We're intelligent people, but it is a paradox to see that somehow, like when we travel out as Nigerians to other climes, we dominate. Look at what the music has done. Look at what the Pidgin English is doing all over the world. Everyone wants to identify with Nigeria or Nigerians. You mention that you're a Nigerian, you're like a king or a queen. We reign and rule wherever the sun shines, where we find ourselves. But how come we're not able to replicate same when it comes to governance, when it comes to what matters as a people? I want to find out the effect of this fragmentation on our democracy. Do you think when we have people defect, people hop from one party to the next, hop from an ideology to another ideology in a wink or twinkle of an eye, how does that affect our democracy? And do you think that the state of the nation where we're at right now could be traced to, you know, a sip or a drop of this attitude of our politicians? I really want Idris's comment on this.
You see, I said it earlier that depiction in politics is not a new thing. And in democracy, depiction is like the blood of that same democracy. They have to depict. Some depict for a reason, while some depict for personal interest. If you look at, we cannot forget about history. Before 2015 election, that is before Buhari emerged president of Nigeria, when Jonathan is in power, if you remember, we observe same or similar depiction from one party to another, and in that party, in that movement, that was brought about a change of government. Some instances, the depiction, when it happens, it shapes the next dispensation that is coming and what it will bring to people. So that what happened in 2014 when the other party members from PDP moved to APC, to say it. They moved and merged and from APC at that time. If you remember, people like Atiku Abubakar, people like who again, many of them moved from PDP to APC, and where Buhari won an election. So we cannot forget about history. Sometimes the depiction is for good. But when the leaders come into office, if they fail to fulfill those promises that they said, why the reasons Nigerians decided to say, okay, we are changing you, being that you are in the seat, we are changing because those people coming in, they promise us good, and when they come, they fail to give you that good. Then you feel demoralized. You understand? That's why the issue of like this. One of this man was talking. He was talking about the constitution of the party, manifestation, and so on. Yeah, I believe many of them they don't read it because we don't have the reading culture. We don't have the understanding of our party constitutions and manifestation and others. We just enter party. And before you know, if you have the godfather, you'll be given a seat. So go and contest for House of Rep, go and contest for governor. You understand? All this, we left a lot of things behind. That's why you see politician will come into office, he don't know where his head, where his legs are aching him. You understand? This is the problem we have. We have
a call now. Let's take the call. Hello, good morning.
This one is having problem.
Okay, please, when you call in, when you call in on the show, make sure you tune down the volume of your TV set so that we don't have any interference, so we can actually get your views, all right? Tune it down or turn it down, the way we usually say, so we can talk. All right, so go ahead.
What I want to say about is still, you know, whatever we said here, it correlates with the past statement you made about integrity. This integrity we are talking about is that where party matters, we need to, at this point of time now, we should not be looking only after party. Nigerians should not be thinking of the particular person. If that person is the one that will change Nigerians' life for better, we should go for it. Even if there's an independent candidate this time around, if to say we have an independent candidate and we find out that independent candidate will be the one to change Nigeria for better,
How possible is that from our history as a people? We're taking a look at the fragmentations that come with these defections, as it were, and of course relating it to our democracy and our present situation as a people in Nigeria. How possible is it for an individual to come like the savior for Nigerian and of course lead the people, and Nigerians gravitate and give that person that mandate in the situation that we have?
In this corrupt Nigeria, it is it's not possible. It's not possible because I know people may gravitate, but the system will fight it.
That's it.
The system will fight. If the system will not allow it, the system will not allow it. You saw what happened in the last election. You saw what happened. So the system is the challenge, except God helps the system.
Yes.
That's the way.
But Tara, you keep talking God.
Yes. He's God. Whatever God permits, he permits. Whatever he doesn't permit, he's God that permitted what happened. God permitted what happened the last time. Yes, he gave us a feeling. It's something for us to do our own, and it's something for God to do his own. So when you finish doing your own, you leave the rest for God. Whatever comes out shows that God permitted it.
This calls to mind,
Mr. God permitted it.
The way Majek Fashek says, religion is politics.
Okay.
Other people know all the tricks.
Yeah.
That's exactly what, because we hold on to religion. When we can control the situation, we leave everything to God. And this man has given us.
We're not leaving it to God. We do your best and leave the rest. You leave it to God now. We come out to vote, give all our this, but then leave the rest to God to do it. Whatever happens, just know God permitted our APC president for a purpose, and that purpose will be realized. And that's what we started praying, that what God has brought him for to do in Nigeria will come to manifestation. How he will do it, we don't know. So that's just it.
Now talking about the politics in politics.
Okay.
The politics in politics.
Yeah.
Do you think when people talk about the politics, tricks in quote in politics, we can relate that to this constant defections that has become a phenomenon in our political landscape? Let us talk about the politics in politics. Idris, politics in politics. There is no way, when we use Nigeria as a case study, that we cannot talk about the politics in politics.
In fact, it's just the politics. Politics.
You know, politics. You know, when you look at politicians, you know definitely there's politics in whatever they do. That's why sometimes I used to say, when a teacher writes on the board and say 2 plus 2, everyone will know that 2 plus 2 is equal to 4. When the same mathematics teacher wrote an equation, say a plus x plus b plus 2 plus d plus is equal to x plus find x or y, the politicians' way of solving that equation will be entirely different from we here sitting down here. You understand? Because that the way
formula.
Yes, the formula, they come with a different formula that will surprise you, but at the end of it they will end up having the same answer with you. So one thing is here,
about being smart.
In Nigeria, I don't lose hope too that something like what happened in Senegal can also happen in Nigeria, whereby Diomaye was not known. Pai Diomaye of Senegal was not known. All the political names there, he wasn't there. But just one morning, Senegalese people decided that no, let's leave this old cycle of politicians. Let's go for a new breed of politicians. Let's see whether we can have a fresh air. And they voted for him. You understand? It happens in many countries, including the black countries like France, where they have never contested for anything, but they come on one day become a. Look, in Nigeria we have good people. Some people hardly understand, but people like. Many people will say, yes, whatever I say, they might not understand. But what I'm looking at, these people, some people that you see them making activism, some of them, they have good ideas. And they work with the ideologies. Not like other politicians that today you elected them, they ideologies, all were kept behind. Is they go for their personal interest. If today in Nigeria we can just decide and say, who is going to solve Nigeria's problem? If we find out that Omoyele Sowore, for example, is the problem, he will be a problem solver for Nigeria. Or if what do you call him, Pubara, who is current battling between you understand, or somebody from young people like Bukarchi from the north, we say, okay, let's look at these people. Let's go for this. As you said, the system will fight. You understand? But wherever the system will fight, if God will be on the side of those who are fighting for better,
we're back to God again. The politics in politics. Taya, I want to take on it because we're back to God again. You started with God.
For me, there is no easier politics. There's no politics, it's politics. Because that politics is about being smart. Many people say it's not about your hard work, it's about you being smart.
Yes.
So when you're smart, the way they outsmart you.
That's right. Tinubu is among the smartest politicians.
Yes, thank you. So we have smart politicians. They know all the tricks to just put things in place and get to wherever they want to get to. So the politics is more than the politics. So I think it's the politics that plays more in the Nigeria we have.
So Taya, yes, the question I want to ask as we proceed is this defection that we're having. Of course, the present defection is our case study, our balance with which we're taking a look at. I started by saying, we woke up one morning and we thought we had a new bride, and which was the SDP, with El Rufai defecting to the SDP. We also had some movement towards the SDP. Then suddenly the APC is at the center of it with the defection by Okowa, Abarawore, and a whole host of other politicians, and of course with the promise that more governors would defect to the APC. Nigerians are beginning to calculate and think. The question we're asking is, that's our president there. Do you think this defection is somehow like a prelude of a guarantee that, Tinubu will definitely come 2027? Do you think this is a build-up to ensuring that he comes again in 2027?
Of course, the politics is already at work. So it's a build-up for 2027. Everybody knows that because of how smart our president is, he may likely come back in 2027, and everybody wants to be in the winning party. You want to be in the ruling party. So that's why they feel there's security when we move to APC. There is hope, and then people have already started strategizing for 2027. So that's why most people are defecting to. And then don't be surprised. There could be an underground plan, to buy more people from us so that we can have one party system. So, but for me, I don't have a problem with one party system because one position can be contested in the same party by many people. So it is still the same thing. So,
Idris, your take?
Yes. I always used to say that detection, coalition, and others sometimes can change things for better if we're done with good intentions. Now, why is it this depiction is coming up at this point of time? It's just for one person that just make a move, which is the former Kaduna State Governor, Malam Nasir Rufai. His movement from APC to SDP, that would quickly make the people from APC, including President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, to wake up. They now say,
smartness.
If we did, because Bola Tinubu knows the capacity of Malam Nasir Rufai. Because of what he did in 2014, he single-handedly, let me tell you, single-handedly started that movement that come and give a buzz to APC. Because he done that, first of all, went and met Buhari and told him the strategies and how he helped to secure victory in 2003, 2007, 2011. and he gave him clues and answers, and he redesigned him a way how we can win election, and he did it. So being President Bola Tinubu, one of the he's one of good Democrats that I always see, and at the same time he's very, very smart. That's why he quickly now say, okay, if we allow this coalition that El-Rufai is forming without making any moves, definitely they will turn the table against us.
I wish we can go on.
Strategy at work.
Yeah, strategy.
So
like you say, we've been told that we've run out of time just when it was getting sweet. Well, so I want to thank my guests for being on the show. Tayo Laniyi, I appreciate you so much for being on the show, and of course Abdulaziz Idris, thank you so much. And for those of you who called in, the calls are coming in and the show is over, so sorry. We appreciate those of you who called in today. Tomorrow is another date on the press from Wednesday till Friday. You know, make sure you be part of the show from the other side and do call in so you can have your say. My name is Anue Benite. Do enjoy the rest of the day. For now, bye for me.